Hi guys! Welcome back to this week's edition of JayhawkJukebox, which is actually our last special of the semester. Here I have with me Max Demetz, and today we are going to talk about our songs of the week. So why don't you kick us off, Max? Tell us about your song.
Absolutely. So for my song this week, I picked Steve's Going to London by AJR. I think that this song is incredible. I got to hear it live in concert this year at their Maybe Man tour, and this was one that they've always wanted to play a song from the crowd, and this was the first time that they actually got to play one from the audience. So
And that's what they picked?
yeah, that was
cool.
one of the ones that they did there. So, but I really like the uplifting vibe that it has,
Yeah.
and their instrumentation is always incredible. I know with this one they have like chimes, horns. They just get so creative with it.
They did, yeah. I mean, I have a little bit of background knowledge on AJR from, actually was in middle school. I was a secret AJR fan. And obviously this is a newer song, but I thought it was really interesting how it was like a song about a song about a song.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to the lyrics of this song, it's kind of interesting because it does kind of break the fourth wall in a way, and I love it when music does that. And it was just a nice way to be reminded of how awesome AJR can be. They're sweet.
Yeah, and it definitely can get a little weird with this song where it just goes all over the place, but it has a consistent beat to it, and it is a real earworm.
I love it. I thought it was great. So just so we don't run out of time, we're gonna move on to the next song, which was my song, To Philly by Del Watergap. And I picked this song because it was my number one on Spotify Wrapped. I believe I was in the 0.001% of listeners of this song. It just means a lot to me, and I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on it before I share.
Oh, I love the chill vibe of this one. After listening to it, I immediately added it to my liked playlist. It's so good. I could picture like a late night drive, kind of winding down for the evening, but it was really good.
I'm so happy to hear that. That is awesome. I connected to this song a lot over the past year. I believe I found it, or refound it, in January of 2024. So I had the whole year to marinate on it, and it's just a very personal song. It kind of talks through a relationship, but there's some really cute specific details in there. And I just think it's a really beautiful love song that's also kind of sad, very reflective, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure.
Just a melancholy, but I mean, if you've listened to any of my music recommendations on this show, then you will be aware of the fact that is most of my music taste. But I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, and I hope I listen to more AJR in the coming months because that was a very different song from my song, and we don't always get a lot of contrast between picks on this segment, so I think it was pretty cool to see our difference in taste and how we can both enjoy that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are on to Jolie's segment, sending it her way.
Hi everyone, it's Jolie, and today we're breaking down Eternal It Take Two by Lil Uzi Vert.
I don't really care if you cry.
For a little context, or for those living under a rock, let's take it back to one of the most iconic days in rap music history, March 6th, 2020. The day Eternal It Take dropped. This day was unforgettable. If you weren't sitting in a high school classroom listening to this album with all your friends when it happened, then I'm so sorry you missed out on such an iconic day. Eternal It Take is the album that put Uzi on the map for those who somehow didn't already know. Since then, Uzi's dropped a few times, but Eternal It Take Two has been the most anticipated project since. And now, as of November 2024, it's finally here. This album has 16 songs, clocking in at just under 45 minutes. The album cover sticks with the space-themed aesthetic from the original, which I love. But let's talk about features, or the lack thereof. There's only one, and it's Big Time Rush. I was hoping for Nicki Minaj, but this works too, I guess. I feel I need to warn you before we get started. The second half of this album is by far better than the first. So if you find yourself unsure at the start, stick with it. Trust me. It's worth giving the entire album a full listen before forming an opinion. But anyways, let's do a quick song-by-song breakdown. The first song is We Good. I think Uzi tried to get the same vibe as Eternal It Takes opener, Baby Pluto. but it doesn't quite hit the same. The production still has that spacey and atmospheric feel, but it doesn't have that hype opening feel that we usually want to see as an album's opener. Next we have Light Year. This track feels like it belongs on the last album, Pink Tape. There's nothing particularly good or bad about it, but it just doesn't stand out in any meaningful way. It feels like a filler track, which is kind of disappointing this early in the album. Next up is Meteor Man. It's a decent song, but it veers off from Uzi's usual sound. This song has been receiving a lot of hate online, and while it's not terrible, it kind of throws off fans expecting more of their signature style. Next up is Pars in the Mars. I'm not sure how to feel about this song. The tempo on the track is all over the place. It's somehow both too fast and too slow at the same time, which makes it kind of confusing to listen to. But to be honest, this song has parts that totally feel like they were designed to go viral on TikTok. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this song becomes a dancing trend under this sound. Next up, we have the Big Time Rush song, called The Rush. This is the only feature on this album. It's a surprising collab that feels nostalgic, but also a little bit random. I think this is going to be the kind of song that grows on you once you know all the words, but it doesn't really stand out now. Next is one of my personal favorites, Not an Option. Not an Option is the most old Uzi song on this album. The second it starts, you realize this song is going to be a banger. Like, just listen. Next up we have She Stank. This song just makes me laugh. There's a few parts that give into the old Uzi type of music, but the lyrics are hard not to laugh at. Mr. Chow was next on the list. This one's been getting a lot of hate, and I don't think it's deserved. While it doesn't stand out as a top tier track, it's still pretty solid, but nothing too special in a good or a bad way. The next song is Lift 'Em Up. To be honest, this song kind of felt like a Lyft and Uber brand deal. Obviously that's not what the song was about, but those are the only lyrics that really stuck out to me. Chips and Dip is the next song. If you have cheap speakers, don't play this song. The bass throughout the entire thing was crazy. This song is very intense and really reminds me of the song I Don't Like by Chief Keef. Next up is Black Hole. I personally love when he's singing in his songs instead of just speaking and rapping the whole time, and in Black Hole we see a little bit of that. It had a very similar singing to rap ratio as I'm Sorry from Eternal Take 1. The next song is another one of my favorites, Chill Bay. This one sounds like it could be a Drake song. It's just a vibe from start to finish and feels like the kind of song you'd play on repeat. Just listen to it, it's so good. Next we have Goddard Song. This track is pretty different compared to the rest of the album. It's different, but it doesn't stand out as much as it probably should. Perky Sex is the next song on the list. I think this was an attempt at a good old-fashioned Lil Uzi love song, but it didn't quite hit the same as some of their older stuff. Next is Conceited. This track is a lot slower than what we've been seeing. Uzi gets kind of vulnerable here, and it's a nice change of pace from the rest of the album. Definitely one of the stronger songs. And finally, we have Space High. As a closer, it doesn't do much to stand out. It's not bad, but it's not like this big final song. After my first few listens, I can confidently say that my standout tracks are Chill Bay and Not an Option. But I could totally see myself really getting into some of these other songs as I continue to listen to them. Overall, I'll be honest, as a big fan of the original Eternal Take, this album had a lot to live up to. To me, the album feels kind of rushed in a way. Each song just kind of stuck to a single idea without much depth or poetry in the lyrics, so I don't think it really lived up to the initial hype and vibe I was expecting. But the thing is, I'm still coming back and listening to it, so maybe this is one of those albums that just kind of grows on you. But anyways, that's all from me today. Let me know how you guys felt about this album and if it lived up to your expectations.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another segment. Today, it's me, Jack, Lucas here. And Lucas and I have a couple things in common that we've learned from this semester. The most important one though is that we both love Stevie Wonder. So we wanted to kind of put you guys on to some of our favorite lesser known Stevie albums. Lucas, take it away here.
Yeah, I gotta start with a classic, but maybe a lesser known classic, which is the beautiful album that is Music of My Mind. I've already spoken about this album a little bit on one of the previous segments where I talked about Seems So Long, which is one of my favorite songs is off that album. But there's a ton of just like really classic songs that I feel like aren't as classic as some other classic Stevie Wonder songs.
True.
But they're classics.
Yeah.
It really like it comes from like it's where he started going from Motown to sort of like the more like fusion or R&B inspired Stevie Wonder that we see now, which I love, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
And yeah.
100%. I mean, this album, kind of when I started really listening to Stevie Wonder, like in high school, Superwoman, one of the songs on the album, that was kind of the one that brought me back into Stevie, and I was like, oh, this is fun. It's this really long song that kind of has multiple different sections that have completely different feels. It's really interesting. And then this past year, I listened for the first time to the song after that on the album, I Love Every Little Thing About You, and I love every little thing about that song. It's a great song.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
Now you tell me about your pick.
I'd be happy to. So my choice for this segment is Fulfilling Niss's first finale.
Yep.
Bit of a tongue twister there for me. This is a wonderful, wonderful album that my Spotify recommended shuffle, the like smart shuffle that you can do on your playlist, sort of has been putting me onto recently. There's just hit after hit after hit on this album. My favorite by far is Boogie on Reggae Woman. That song, it punches you in the face. Like, you just want to start dancing from start to finish.
Dare I say, Boogie.
Oh my God,
Yep.
he did it. He did it. This song is incredible. It's funky, it's groovy. I literally can't, like, I'm kind of squirming here just like thinking about this song.
Yeah.
But that's not even close to the only amazing song in this album. I mean, I put a top 3 and then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other honorable mentions, so I'll spare you guys the list. But this song's full of hits.
Yeah. And by song, he obviously means album. But, but anyways.
This is why we need people like Lucas.
But I love that album. And not to mention the beautiful album art. I think it's his best album art.
It is.
By far.
It's really interesting.
What I love about particularly like that Boogie on Reggae Woman song is like a lot of the other songs of that album are a lot more melodic and a lot like sweeter. And that song, it's not sweet, but it just has like a more rhythmic element to it.
Absolutely.
And it's also a part of that 5 album, I call it the greatest album run of all time.
Fight us.
Which starts with my album, actually, Music of My Mind. And then that one is somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It might be next, but it's a really amazing album.
Yeah, I mean, it's introspective, it's emotional, it's got every sort of feeling you could want out of an album with a really wide array of instrumentation. Big words there for you guys. And the Jackson 5 sing backup on this album.
Yeah.
So there's really, what else could you ask for in this? I mean, I think it won album of the year too in the Grammys.
Yeah. If you look through some of his tunes or some of his albums, like, you see that he has so many amazing vocal features on the background. I know, if you know Another Star off of Songs in the Key of Life, George Benson is singing on the back of that, who, just the most random person, the most unbelievably unnecessary but awesome person to have singing background on your song.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't really need that help, honestly. His voice is my favorite voice probably ever.
Incredibly underrated talent. I mean, he plays almost for all of his albums, all the instruments. He basically does it all himself, which is something you never see.
Yeah.
Especially for an album of this caliber, of a discography of this caliber.
Yeah.
He's truly, I mean, there's a reason why, like, he is regarded as one of the best. Yeah. Rightfully so.
If you've seen, there's this video of him playing, what is it? It's Carpenter's song, but he does the cover with like a talk box, which is like, it's like that first little like wah keyboard sound, and it inspired a cover that Frank Ocean did
Close to You.
Close to You. That's the one, and that is one of my favorite videos on the internet.
Yeah, it's incredible,
and it just like it exemplifies the innovation that he's always taken through his music. Like, that was not a standard that had been set in music before.
Oh yeah.
Even in that video, the crowd starts by like laughing the way he's playing it, like, because it's sort of a goofy sound.
Yeah.
But as it goes on, he plays it so well and so tastefully that the crowd is like silenced. You know?
I mean, I I remember being like 13, 14 and thinking like talk boxes were just easy to come by. Being like, oh, I want one for my birthday. Not knowing how to play piano, not knowing how to work a talk box. But it's just such a cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to put your sounds from everywhere in your body into your music, it's like another level of passion.
Yes, for
And
sure.
I wish we could go on forever.
Yeah.
We could. We probably will continue to.
In purgatory.
Yes, but for now we're going to move on to maybe my favorite segment. I don't want to tell you guys what it is, but it involves cats. Get ready.
What's up, Jukebox?
We're gonna do another little album review. And yeah, today we're gonna be looking at the album Meowie Christmas by the Jingle Cats. So we're just kinda gonna get right into that. But if you're unfamiliar with the Jingle Cats, basically this is like some guy that recorded like anytime his cats meowed or made sound, and also dogs.
Yes.
And then he has several albums, but this is the Christmas version, so it's all the Christmas classics, but recorded.
And sang by cats and dogs.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right in. The first one is Silent Night. So and away we go. Trill. Yeah.
Oh! I'm not even sure if I'm very familiar with any of these songs not being sang by cats and dogs.
Yeah. They have like the classics. So everyone's heard of Silent Night. Anyway, yeah, that was Silent Night.
Very good, very good.
Definitely a classic. Everyone knows this one. You'll notice that some of these songs have like obviously like there's instruments and there's cat meowing, but I've listened to this a few times before, so I know that some are like they don't have enough of the cat, so it's like, hello.
Yeah, basically the story is that when I was a kid, with my parents and my siblings, we would listen to different Christmas time songs in our living room, and we would ice skate on the carpet, ice skating around, as we would have this not record player, with DVD player, we would have all these different Christmas tracks, and we had Christmas, and so we would be skating across our carpet, meowing the classic Christmas songs, and it was awesome.
Okay, this next one is What Child Is This? / Hava Nagila. See a lot of not cats in this one, in the beginning at least. A lot of setup, if you will.
I could not tell you the words.
I only know the cat version.
Wait, did I hear meow?
This one's really high pitched. And this is all actual his cat's meowing, and then he just mixes it together.
Oh? I wonder what kind of dogs and cats he has.
Oh my god, they have a website.
Oh, yes!
Okay, so apparently you have to have a login though, so.
Are you making an account? This one's my favorite, Jukebox. God rest ye merry gentlemen. I just think it sounds so good.
This one's a classic.
I just can feel all the emotion. Is there a music video?
Side note, this was made in 1993. I just found Oh Come All Ye Faithful performed by cats for the straight-to-VHS film Jingle Cats Meowie Christmas 1992.
Orchestra cat. Oh! Ew, they're making out!
Oh my god, this is so awesome.
It's playing the harmonica!
Alright, Jukebox. It's been real.
Walter approves.
Walter approved. So give Meowie Christmas by the Jingle Cats a listen.
Yes.
It's awesome.
You and your friends will enjoy it, swear.
Yeah. And have a good holiday break.
Yes.
And we'll see you next year.
Next semester.
Meow.
Meow.
So, you said you don't like Christmas music? Well, I'm here to convince you that you do. You just need to give some new songs a try. I've got 5 flavorful, festive tunes to get you in the seasonal mood that may help you get you from the naughty to the nice list, Scrooge. First up is Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses. The last 2 years, this has been my absolute favorite Christmas song to listen to. The bouncy guitar and faint sound of bells chiming give you the feeling you're about to hear a generic Christmas song until you're met with the voice of Patty Donahue. The laid-back, calm as a cucumber delivery makes the song feel satirical in a way, and it's awesome. It's like if Santa had an off-season vacation to Akron, Ohio in the summertime. Next up is a modern twist on an old classic. It's Khruangbin with Christmas Time Is Here. I had the privilege of seeing Khruangbin live a few months ago, and they put on one of the coolest shows I've ever witnessed. The vibe Khruangbin's music gives off is so calming and peaceful, it makes so much sense why their dabble into holiday music is a marriage made in North Pole heaven. If you're not familiar with This Texas trio, allow me to introduce you. Now, I'll let you be. Batting third is a new wave classic by Aztec Camera. It's Walk Out to Winter. The vinyl collection at KJHK features a copy of this bad boy, so for my fellow DJs out there, give it a listen. I found this song while buying a Christmas gift for my sister in anthropology last year, and ever since then, it's been a top on rotation. It sounds like the day after a big snowstorm when you wake up and squint your eyes because the sun is reflecting off the fresh layer of pure powder snow outside. It's refreshing, playful, and easy to sing along to in your best British accent. Heading now to one of my personal favorite reggae punk bands, The Specials, and their song, Blank Expression. It may not directly associate the sound of reggae with wintertime, and I think that's exactly why I love this song so much. The last time I played this song, I deemed the consequences of long-term hearing loss to be irrelevant in comparison to the joy of listening to this song at max volume in my 2012 Honda Accord. It tells a simple story of a man questioning the brutality of wintertime. When we all get a little cranky and our feet are cold, he's got a point. My dad put me onto The Specials a while back, and this is another hit from his massive catalog of British new wave earworms. Thank you, Dad. Last up is a song I first familiarized myself with from its influence as a sample used by Miss Lauryn Hill and the Fugees on The Score. The song is I Only Have Eyes for You by the Flamingos. Some research brought me 47 years into the past, where the Flamingos' wonderful serenade sounded even better uncut. This isn't inherently a Christmas song, but when I close my eyes, I see myself dancing to it in a grand ballroom back in an era without phones, LED Christmas lights, or Amazon Prime. It sounds like the best Christmas you'll never have. Happy? Sad? You decide. Well, Ebenezer, I appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone to give my jolly tunes a try. Let me know if they cause your heart to grow awry. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Hi, I'm Max. And I'm Jake. And these are our tips on how to throw a holiday party on a budget.
Step 1. Compare prices. It's important you check different locations for similar products. In our case, we went to Home Goods, found items we liked, and stepped into Five and Below to see if we could find anything similar. Chances are you can find pretty much the same stuff for a lot cheaper. Step 2. Try looking for used items. You can save a lot of money by doing this. Christmas trees particularly have gotten fairly pricey, but Jake and I managed to find a perfect 7.5 foot tall tree for only $40 at Goodwill. Compared to some of the prices we saw at Home Goods and Walmart, we did pretty well. Step 3. Look for local deals going on. It's easy to get caught up in the shopping in a single store. Step 4. Prepare your own food. Step 5. Lean into cheaper presents. It can be hard to buy so many presents for so many people, so it's good to keep it small. Jake and I demonstrated this by giving this item we found on Mass Street. Step 6. Invite your closest friends and family over. This can be however many people you want. You can keep it as a small get-together, or you can go all out and invite everybody you know. Just avoid inviting people with sour holiday spirit. You don't want a Grinch ruining your party.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Short Jukebox News Flash, where we will be recounting the top music news stories from the past week. I'm Virginia.
And I'm Alexandria. In a hilarious move, Sleep Token vocalist Vessel caught up on some gaming during a recent show. The vocalist was seen showcasing his gaming skills to a masked stagehand while the rest of the band was performing their song, The Summoning. A fan video shows this series of events before the singer hands the Nintendo Switch or Steam Deck to the stagehand, who disappears down an on-stage lift. This is nothing new for the band, who is known for their anonymity, and the group has done a handful of interviews since their appearance in 2016, but has never revealed their true identities.
The surviving members of the rock band Soundgarden will be returning to the stage alongside vocalist Shayna Shepherd. The performance will benefit the Seattle Children's Hospital and feature the band as New Dragons, an anagram of Soundgarden. The show takes place on December 14th at the Showbox in Seattle.
Britney Spears recently announced that she has moved to Mexico, and this was due to her treatment from the paparazzi. The announcement came on the singer's 43rd birthday in the form of a video posted to Instagram. In the video, Spears states, "It really kind of hurts my feelings that the paparazzi make my face look like I'm wearing a white Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me." She goes on to state that the paparazzi have always been extremely cruel to her, which is why she made the move.
Bon Jovi has officially added another Billboard chart to their collection this week. The musicians have hit #1 on the dance/electronic digital song sales chart for the first time. The winning song is Pitbull's Now or Never, which features the rock band in their famous track It's My Life as its chorus.
On to the rundown of music releases this weekend. White Denim's 12, Roses, Rosie, Lauren Mayberry's Vicious Creature, Cameron Winter's Heavy Metal, and Angel Olsen's Cosmic Waves Volume 1.
That's all for Jayhawk Jukebox this week. We will see you again next semester. Thank you again for tuning in, and make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify at Jayhawk Jukebox, and catch these clips on our YouTube channel, also called Jayhawk Jukebox. Bye.
Happy holidays.